The fashion world just sent Meghan Markle another brutal message, and this time it happened at the front door. According to reports circulating among Manhattan's fashion elite, Meghan was turned away at a high-end fashion show this past weekend. It wasn't a scheduling mix-up. It wasn't a security mistake. This was deliberate. Security, following strict instructions, reportedly pulled Meghan to the side and told her plainly, "We're sorry, but you are no longer welcome at our events." It was meant to be a quiet night out. Meghan had arrived with a friend, trying to enjoy the energy of New York Fashion Week and possibly snap a few photos to reset the narrative. Instead, she got the clearest signal yet that her presence is now viewed as a reputational liability. The decision, insiders say, wasn't made by security. It came directly from event organizers after careful discussion with sponsors and PR teams. The risk of Meghan turning their show into another tabloid headline was too great. No one wanted to be caught in the blast radius. Witnesses say Meghan didn't take the rejection well. She was described as visibly stunned, followed by what one source called an emotional meltdown. She allegedly blamed the entire ordeal on her skin color, screaming that this was yet another example of systemic bias. But according to insiders, race had nothing to do with it. The fashion industry, brutal and fickle as it is currently dealing with something far more basic: image control. And right now, Meghan represents volatility, something these brands can't afford. This incident comes on the heels of yet another chaotic week for Meghan. Rumors continue to swirl of a looming IRS probe into Archewell finances. Fresh bullying allegations have emerged from former staffers who now feel emboldened to speak. And globally, her options appear to be collapsing. Dubai and Saudi Arabia, two countries the Sussex team once explored for philanthropic partnerships and lifestyle deals, have reportedly said, "No thanks." Neither wants to be part of whatever rebranding Meghan has planned next. This latest Fashion Week embarrassment is just one more public indicator of how far the tide has turned. There was a time not long ago when Meghan Markle could dominate the headlines with carefully orchestrated appearances, interviews, and personal essays. Back in 2020, when she and Harry sat down with Oprah Winfrey, the world listened. The reaction was one of overwhelming sympathy. The UK press was painted as vicious. The royal family was cast as cold. Meghan, she was the victim, the woman who walked away from power to protect her peace. Canada opened its arms during that time, offering the couple quiet sanctuary as they transitioned out of royal life. Brands flooded their inboxes. Networks pitched docu-series and podcasts. Meghan was everywhere. Front pages, talk shows, think pieces. Was supposed to be the start of something transformative. A new power couple reimagining influence from outside the institution. But that moment didn't last. Over the years, that narrative has unraveled slowly at first, then all at once. The stories began to shift. Former palace staff claimed they were mistreated. Meghan, they said, created a toxic working environment, raised voices, public humiliations, unrealistic expectations, threats. For a woman who preached compassion and mental health awareness, the behind-the-scenes behavior seemed wildly out of sync. Then came a Netflix docu-series, the project that was supposed to showcase their side of the story. Instead, it raised eyebrows. Meghan was accused of mocking the Queen. Viewers pointed out how many scenes felt exaggerated, even rehearsed, and critics weren't the only ones unimpressed. People who had once championed her began to distance themselves. Worse yet, she started getting caught in lies. Inconsistencies in timelines, contradictions between interviews, claims that were easily fact-checked and disproven. Meghan blamed the media, then the palace, then racism. But at some point the public stopped listening. The internet started calling her out, and slowly one by one doors started closing. Fashion brands began stepping back. First it was subtle. Fewer front row seats, less buzz, less engagement. Then it became unavoidable. Designers started sharing stories. Meghan belittling junior stylists, screaming at assistants, expecting special treatment at every turn. One fashion insider put it bluntly, "There's always a problem when she walks in." Now, even in a city like New York, a place known for reinvention, she's being kept out. And while Meghan continues to believe she can rebuild her public persona, Harry reportedly sees what's really happening. Friends say he's trying to do damage control. He's been reaching out to old contacts, pitching tightly controlled interviews that paint Meghan in a softer light. But there are no takers. People aren't biting. Even journalists who were once friendly are said to be turning down the opportunity. It's not that Meghan and Harry can't get coverage. It's that no one wants to give them the coverage they want. The narrative has hardened. The skepticism is too widespread. And it's not just professional damage. The personal strain is reportedly growing, too. Sources close to the couple say Harry has become increasingly withdrawn. He's spending more time alone, taking long walks, avoiding the media. Gone is the bold, passionate defender of his wife. In his place, a quieter, more introspective version. One source claimed Harry has privately admitted to struggling with the pressure of being a full-time independent celebrity. He underestimated how ruthless the world outside the palace would be. He's even been described as nostalgic, reminiscing about his time in the UK, the sense of purpose he felt, the structure and identity that royal life offered. Some say he's even quietly reached out to palace contacts asking about possible roles or assistance. Not publicly, not officially, but quietly, carefully. And that speaks volumes because for all the statements, all the projects, all the talk of freedom, Harry appears lost. And if he is, what does that mean for Meghan? Her brand is suffering. Her marriage, according to insiders, is strained. Her reputation, once carefully polished, is now buried under a mountain of headlines she can't control. The world she thought she could conquer, fashion, media, politics, is closing its doors. And now, after this latest New York humiliation, the reality is unavoidable. There was a time when Meghan Markle could walk into any room and command the cameras. Now she's being stopped at the door, turned away, told, "Not tonight, not anymore." What's next for her is unclear. She may try again to pivot. Perhaps another documentary, another philanthropic project, another speech. But the truth is, the mechanisms that once supported her have moved on. The media isn't buying it. The brands don't want it. The public isn't listening. And the one person who gave up everything for her, his title, his country, his family, may no longer know how to defend it. The silence around Meghan now is louder than any headline. Because for someone who mastered the art of the narrative, the real crisis is no longer what people are saying. It's that they've stopped caring at all.